What is up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Tiffany, aka theTILAGO. If you're new around here, I talk about all things the faith journey and living in and on purpose. And today, y'all, I am so excited about this video because I know that we've been leaning more so into the faith journey talk. I've been talking about how I'm reading the Bible in 2025 in the past few videos. Today, we're going to lean a little bit heavier on the side of living in and on purpose. And I'm going to be sharing with you all my 2025 reset, how I'm setting myself up for a successful 2025. So I'll be sharing with you my vision, my goals, my word of the year, my scriptures of the year, all the things. Okay. And so if you are ready to hear about that and hopefully be inspired and encouraged to set up some of these same things for yourself in 2025, then let's go. If you're not new around here, you already know we normally start off with a verse of the day. But since I'm going to be sharing a few scriptures with you later that are going to be my scriptures of 2025, we're going to hold off on digging into the word until then. Everybody cool? We good? Okay. Now, this is like a Christian reset, and I want to kind of give us a few things that make this reset a little bit different than someone who maybe is not of the Christian faith. And it's three specific things. I keep looking down because I've got my phone down here with my notes, but it's three specific things that I think mark the difference between a person who's not of the Christian faith setting up themselves for the year and a person who is a follower of Jesus setting up themselves for the new year. And those three things are: number one, prayer. Number two is patience. And number three is putting God at the center. I try to keep them all starting with the letter P, if you couldn't tell. Okay, so that first one, prayer. I know that there are other faiths who also pray, just not necessarily to the same God that we pray to, the God of heaven. And so I really believe that this is something that marks how we set up ourselves for the next year, because we want to make sure that if you're a Christian, you want to make sure that you are asking God to help you, to guide you, to lead you as you are setting yourself up for the next year. You want him to be the one who's giving you the vision that you're going to have for that year. You want him to be the one who's giving you the goals. You want him to be the one that's giving you the steps you need to take and all the things you need to do and who you need to be within the next year. So prayer is absolutely the number one thing that is going to set a regular reset apart from one for someone who is a follower of Jesus. The second thing is patience. Now, I put this one here because I know other people are going to be like, no, we're patient too, even if we don't believe in Jesus. And you might be, that's probably true. Honestly, some of y'all might be a little more patient than we are. But anyway, patience I put here because I really believe that if you're going to pray, then you have to give him time to answer you. And so honestly, my reset started in Q4 of last year. So I didn't just start resetting within the past few days or the past week or so. I know that I want to give God time to give me answers and to lead me and guide me and all the things. And so I make sure that I am patient in waiting for his answer. I submit my request to him and saying hey, can you help me plan this? Can you help me and show me what this new year is going to look like for me? And then I actually give him time. I give him days, I give him weeks to answer me. And so I think patience is one of those things that also can set our resets apart if you are a follower of Jesus. And then the last one, very much obvious, is putting God at the center. I know that a lot of other people, as they are resetting, they are putting themselves at the center. They are saying I'm the only thing who matters. What I want is what goes, me. But when we are followers of Jesus, we have to be sure that everything that we are doing is centered around God, is centered around his will, is centered around who he's calling us to be and what he's calling us to do. And so that sometimes means he's going to call us to do things we don't want to do, or he's going to mold us and shape us into people that we didn't even know we could be, or he's going to put us in uncomfortable situations. He's going to tell us to set goals that don't make sense. He's going to tell us to do things and become people who it doesn't make sense in our human mind, but it makes sense in his mind. And if it makes sense in his mind, then y'all know what? We just got to go with it. So we have to always put God at the center of everything that we do, especially when we are setting ourselves up for a new year. Okay, so moving along, I really want to start this video off by kind of sharing a little bit, I'm not going to dwell here for too long, but I want to share a little bit of my 2024 reflection because it absolutely did inform how I'm resetting myself for 2025. So let's start with a little look back. Okay, so as I did my reflection for 2024, I noticed that each quarter of 2024 had its own theme, had its own thing to it, right? And so I'm just going to talk about those things briefly, and I probably won't dig into a whole bunch of details, but I'll kind of share a high level view, and then again, we'll move into 2025. So Q1 of 2024 was what I'd like to call my grieving quarter. It was the season where I still was holding on to a lot of things or trying to let go of a lot of things from 2023. 2023 was a pretty tough year for your girl. There was just a lot going on. I felt like I ended the year of 2023 in kind of like a depressing depressive state. And so I was trying to step into 2024 like just better, just, feeling more like myself. And that required me to grieve. And so I was grieving a lot. I was letting go of a lot. I was forgiving myself a lot, forgiving others a lot. And just trying to, like not take the same stuff that I had in 2023 with me into 2024. And so Q1 was all about letting go, all about shedding, all about pruning things, all about saying like, okay, my reality is not what I wanted my reality to be, but I really need to grieve it so that I can step into whatever this new reality is that God has for me. So Q1 of 2024 was 100% my grieving season. Now, Q2 of 2024 was like my healing. I know that grief is a part of healing. And so I'm not saying that I wasn't healing at all in Q1, but Q2 was like, it felt like I had been like just shed of everything. And so now it was time to mend. And so I felt like God was really doing a lot of healing work in me, a lot of restoring hope and restoring joy and restoring all kinds of stuff, restoring passion, restoring focus and vision. And just, it was just a really good season of like, okay, I feel like God is doing things and I feel like I'm finding me again and I'm feeling good about it. And yeah, so that Q2 was all about healing, all about like, I don't know, just getting rejuvenated. And so it was a really beautiful time. Okay, Q3 of 2024 was what I like to call like the preparation season. We were preparing. Now, I may not have known what I was preparing for in Q3, but as I talk about Q4, y'all gonna hear it. But Q3, I felt like, okay, I'm healed. I feel good. I feel like myself again. I've got passion. I've got hope. I've got all this stuff back. So now it's time to do something again. Like I'm just a doer. I feel like I'm somebody who's always going, always moving, who always has, big dreams, big goals, big visions, all this stuff. And I felt like, okay, now it's time for you to get into it. So I felt like Q3 was like God was just preparing me. He's like showing me how I'm equipped, showing me where I'm equipped and who I'm called to, and all these different kinds of things he was calling me or showing me during that quarter. And so I felt like, I don't know, I just felt like I was ready. I felt like I was getting ready. And I felt like by the end of Q3, honestly, it was probably like right before Q3 ended, I was like, oh no, we are in it. We are absolutely ready for whatever it is that God is calling us to do. So we have grieved, we have healed, and now we are preparing. And then Q4, that is Q3. Q4 rolled around and it was like walk it out season. Like that's what I've been calling it. It was like, it was my walk it out, walking in it season, because it was a time that in Q3 is when I started HGH, Holy Girl Hangs, a community here in Charlotte, North Carolina for late Gen Z and millennial women, Christian women, to just come together and hang out. And so when I was starting that, y'all, I say this all the time, I really thought it was only going to be like 20 people and we were going to rock and roll and I was going to be 100% fine with that. But it ended up booming, blossoming, going crazy. The group me is up to like over 550 people. I don't even know where they're coming from, but they're coming and people are still coming even today. And things are happening. Like we have been meeting together. We have been growing. People have been hanging, building relationships, deepening their relationship with God, which is the most, the highest goal that we're trying to reach. And so it was just a really like amazing time. It was like, this is what all of that was for, is what Q4 of 2024 felt like. Like all your grieving, all your depressive states, all your equipping, all your suffering, all of that was for this. And now there's more that I'm preparing you for, but you like walk in this, be confident in this, be confident in who I've created you to be and what I've called you to do in this time. So that was all of 2024 in a nutshell. Like I said, I didn't really get into a whole bunch of details, but I'm very grateful for the year of 2024. And I feel like even as I kind of talked about those three things that kind of separate, how we reset versus how somebody who's not of the faith does, I had to use those same things as I was reflecting and processing 2024. So I had to make sure that the filter that I had on my mind and my perspective was one of God. Like it was me looking at it with his eyes, me looking at the year with his eyes. Because while I was in Q1 and Q2, I was like, what's going on here? Like I may not have named it or labeled it the grieving or the healing or whatever in that time. But since I'm able to look back with his lenses, look back with his wisdom and look back with him, I'm able to see them in a different light. So 2024 was a wonderful year. I mark it as one of not my favorite years, but it was a really, really good year, a solid year, and one that I'm really, really grateful for. Okay, now let's talk about the year that is at hand, the year we are in. 2025. Y'all, when I say I am super excited about 2025, like I hope it's coming through the screen because I really, really feel like this is going to be a great year. This is going to be one of my favorite years. I'm marking it now. I'm saying it now. A lot is about to happen. God has a lot in store for me, and I just can't wait to step into all of it. So I'm excited to talk about it. And I want to start by, let's talk about my vision because that's overarching, right? So the vision I feel like I have for 2025 is simple, and it is that I am going to be staying close to God and I'm going to be moving in faith. I'm going to be staying close to God and moving in faith. I don't have a clue what he about to have me doing, but I do believe that there's going to be a lot of these moments where it's going to require me to have like really strong, bold, crazy faith. I'm getting nervous saying that, but I trust God. And so I feel like he's really going to push me and require me to trust him even more. I'll talk about that as I talk about one of my scriptures, but I just feel like he's calling me to stay really close to him so that I know what I'm trusting him for. And I know like I'm able to have my faith fueled over and over because y'all, I just know he's about to call me to do some stuff that I'll be like, what? That is my vision, is just I'm going to be staying close to God and I'm going to be moving in faith. That may be a vision where y'all are like, girl, that's too broad and not, detailed enough or whatever, dialed in enough. But I, even as somebody who loves to plan and loves to dig and all this stuff, sometimes y'all, I just realize, especially with my planning, some stuff I have to keep broad because I just really want to allow God to have space to move and to do what he wants and to not put him in a box and to not put myself in a box. So that is my vision for the year. My word of the year, very much related, is the word dwell. My word of 2025 is dwell. And the Greek version of this would be yashab. I don't know how to say it, but I'll put it on the screen. And it means to sit, to inhabit, or to remain. It, of course, relates to staying close to him, right? Like I really feel like he's calling me to just dwell, to just like sit with him. And these words of the year that I had these past few years are like, I don't know. I think if you know my personality, you'd be like, okay, I guess that makes sense. But my word of the year of 2024 was rest. I was like, who resting? That's not me. That's not what we do, But it was a very restful year, thank God. And I'm thankful because the year before was not. And so I think I needed that. And then I fully believe in this word of the year too, of dwell. I'm excited to see what it means. And again, I'll dig into more of this as we keep going because my scriptures are really going to like bring this even more to light. Okay, so speaking of scriptures, let's talk about them. I have 3 like chunks or verses or scriptures of the year. The first one is one that I've talked about on my channel on a few different videos here lately. And it is Luke chapter 10, verse 38 through 42. I really believe that this verse is like embodying what my year is supposed to look like. And so it is the story. I'm not going to dig into it too much because like I said, I've talked about it over and over. So you've got to watch a few videos back, especially my December reset. I've really talked about this verse. But this is the verse where Jesus meets Martha and Mary, Lazarus' sisters. Jesus comes in, Martha gets busy and starts doing a whole bunch of stuff, trying to prepare for him, trying to get his attention, trying to make things perfect for him. Mary sits at his feet and just is listening to him, not helping her sister. Martha gets upset, comes to Jesus, asks why he's not telling her to help her to prepare things. And Jesus tells her that there is only one thing that is required and Mary has found it and he's not going to take it away from her. And so I really believe that he is calling us to be, or me in this season, he's calling me to be more of a Mary than I am a Martha. I think he's showing me just how much of my life I've been a Martha and how he's wired me in a very much a Martha way, but I've only leaned into that version of me, is the one who's always doing, always going, always all over the place and always trying something and starting something and trying to do things for him in order to get his attention and trying to like reach his heart. Whereas now he's calling me, and I think he really started doing this over the past few years with me, but now he's calling me to like get comfortable with the Mary side of who he's created me to be. Get comfortable with the girl who just sits at Jesus' feet. Get comfortable with the one who sits in vulnerability, who listens to him, who waits on him, who's patient, who doesn't have to move all the time, who realizes that the one thing that matters is being in his presence. And so I am excited about whatever that's supposed to look like in this next year. I've already started it, just kind of like trying to just like reel back a lot of the things that I've been doing over the past few years, even over the past few months as I started HGH, like just trying to reel a lot of things in, trying to pause a lot of things, trying to slow down so that I can hear him really clearly and then only pick up the things that he's calling me to pick up. So that is the first verse that I'm going to be sitting on, is Luke chapter 10, verse 38 through 42. Okay, the second verse is very much connected to the first verse, and it is Psalm 27:4, and it says this in the ESV: "One thing I ask of the Lord, that I will seek after, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to gaze upon the beauty of the Lord and to inquire in his temple." Now, this one is, like I just talked about, being a Mary, like sitting at his feet, dwelling with him. I want this to be like my heart posture. I just want that, like, if you look at my life, I want you to be able to say like, oh nah, like the one thing she cares about is sitting with Jesus. The one thing she is focused on is being with Jesus. And so this is just, I don't know, like I said, it's just my heart posture. And it is like the posture of Mary that we see as she is sitting at Jesus' feet. She is not thinking about other things. She's not distracted by other things as her sister was. Like, she is just sitting at Jesus's feet and she is dwelling with him. So as you can tell, dwell is in this verse, and it also is where my word of the year really came from. So again, one thing I have asked of the Lord, that will I seek after, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to gaze upon the beauty of the Lord and to inquire in his temple. I'm excited to gaze upon his beauty even more, y'all. Anyway, okay. The next verse is Proverbs 3, verse 5 through 8. A lot of people kind of stop with just 5 through 6, but I wanted 5 through 8 to be the whole verse because it, again, I just felt like God kept bringing this verse back up to me over the past month. And I was like, okay, even so much so, y'all, that it is on the back of my Bible. I'll show y'all in a second. So this is my new Bible, and Proverbs 3, verse 5 through 6 is on the back of it. But let me read all of it for us. Proverbs 3, verse 5 through 8, so that you can hear a little bit more about how I feel like it's going to shape my year. Okay, it says in the ESV, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths. Be not wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and turn away from evil. It will be healing to your flesh and refreshment to your bones." And so this kind of points to that second part of what I was talking about with my vision of moving in faith. I just really feel like God is going to be calling me to trust him so deeply. I think the things he's calling me to do are going to be like, if you want to see just how much potential I have placed in you and just how much I've equipped you with and just how much influence you can have and in mine, in Jesus' name, like, then you've got to move in faith. So there's going to be some big things that he's calling me to do, but they are going to require me to really deeply trust him. And so this verse, like I said, has been sitting on me for over at least a month. And so I am definitely going to be like trying to embody this and trying to sit on this for 2025. All right. I know this video is getting long. I just be talking, but we've got a few more things to talk about before I let you go. Okay. So not only do I set a word of the year, a vision of the year, a scripture of the year, but I also normally try to have values of the year. Now, some of you might be like, well, how do your values change over time and all this thing? And I'm like, listen, as you step into new years and new seasons of life, then your values probably are going to change. The things that matter to you most are going to shift and be different. And so my values of 2025 are as follows. They are family, accountability, consistency, focus, and discipline. I almost didn't want to say it. That's why I looked away. But family, accountability, consistency, focus, and discipline are my values of 2025. Now, what this means, whenever I set a value, that means that whenever I get an opportunity, whenever somebody invites me to do something, whenever I'm thinking about doing something, I have to remember my values and ask myself if they are like leading me away from them, or if they are causing me to diminish or suppress my values or not, or ignore my values or not. So for example, very easy. Let's say like somebody invites me to do, I don't know, like somebody just invites me to do something, or an opportunity comes, but it causes me to like miss something big that's happening for my family, or it causes me to neglect, doing something for my family. That means that my family is the value. And so I have to say no to the opportunity, no matter how amazing it is. And that, like, literally, that's how a value system is supposed to work. You're not supposed to be able to bend and all these things. Like, these are setting my boundaries, right? So accountability, I've got a lot of things I'm trying to do this year, and I need to be held accountable. Like, I just don't think that I don't think that I've been intentional enough about accountability in the past years. And so I really want to be able to share with people like, hey, this is what I really want to do. Can you be somebody who's holding me accountable? Check in with me. Ask me what's going on. Y'all are my accountability partners for one of my goals that I'll share here in a second. And so like, yeah, just being accountable is something that's huge for me this year. Consistency is something that I've struggled with, y'all. I really struggle with consistency. I just love starting new things. I love doing new things. And a lot of times that means I get bored with things. And so I want to be consistent, especially here on YouTube. I want to be consistent with the things that I feel like I'm called to. And so that's one of my values. Focus. I've got to be focused. So that's where I was kind of talking about, like, I have had to quiet the noise over these past few weeks and try to like calm down and slow down and really hear God clearly, because there's so many things I want to do. So I want to be able to focus and pinpoint the things that he's calling me to do in the season that he's calling me to do it. And then like just sit on those things for that time. And then the last thing is discipline. I mean, that just kind of points back to all the other ones, right? Like, I just want to be disciplined. I've got so many things, again, that I'm trying to do, goals I'm trying to accomplish that require me to be disciplined. They require me to not just have motivation that is fueling me. Like, I have to be disciplined. I have to do the things that I say I'm going to do. I have to be a woman of my word. And that's what I'm really trying to do in 2025 more. Okay, now let's talk about my goals for 2025. The first area of my life that I'm really going to be focused on, because I'm only really going to try to focus on like 3 main areas of my life, at least for the first part of it. And so first part of 2025. And so the first area that I really want to focus on is my spiritual life. I feel like, honestly, I am thriving. I feel like God and I are like this right here. We locked in. I feel like I'm spending time with him. I'm being intentional about my time with him. I'm being intentional about sharing about him. I'm being intentional about digging into community, like-minded community. Like, I feel like we're good. But the one thing that I want to do, and that's why I'm saying that this is something I'm really focused on, is I want to read the Bible in a year. And if you've been following me, then you know that I'm actually trying to read the Bible in 6 months. And so that's like my number one goal. It's the main one that I'm thinking about. And so the area of my life that's really going to help is my spiritual life, which is also going to help every other area of my life. But that is the number one goal that I have. I tried to make all of my goals like SMART goals, if y'all have heard of that, but some of them are not, some of them are. But this one is definitely, so I want to absolutely read the Bible in 6 months. Y'all are my accountability partners, because I'm going to be coming over here every single week, sharing my insights, sharing updates, sharing what I learned from the past week's reading. And I'm excited about that. I can't wait to record the one for this week, because I've already actually read over a week of over a week of the Bible in order to share with you guys what I've gotten from it. So that's really my only like goal within the spiritual category of my life. The next area of my life that I really want to focus on is my physical or health area. And basically, I want to make sure, the first goal is that I'm working out 4 to 6 times a week. I always fall off of working out in like the last quarter of the year. This year, or 2024, was no different. I fell off hard. I really didn't do a whole lot. I maybe went for walks every now and then, but I really didn't lean in like I normally do. And so this year, I really want to make it a point to get back discipline in my just working out. And so I've already set up this one thing where I bought one of my friends and girl who I went to college with has a Pilates studio. And so I just bought like this pack of classes or whatever to do at the beginning of the year. And so I already done paid for them. Okay, so that should really help me to dig in. And so, but also she's just a really dope instructor. She has a beautiful presence about her. And so I'm super excited to go see her. If you're in Charlotte, the name of her spot is called 70 Flow. I think it's her and maybe another girl and maybe a guy. I don't know. But I know that my girl Vicky is one of the owners. And so 70 Flow, Charlotte. That's where I go for Pilates. And so I'm excited about going back and like really getting more consistent, because honestly, I be talking about I only went 2 times, but it was really fun. It was really good. I just like didn't budget for it well in the last quarter of the year. So now I'm trying to budget for it so that I can actually stay consistent with it and it can be a part of my workout routine. And so I'll be going to Pilates, and I'll be, of course, strength training still. And so I'm already trying to kind of setting up my goals in that way. Also, my brother is a personal trainer. And so I told him he's my trainer. Well, I've been telling him he's my trainer for the past ever. Okay. But I really do check in with him. He's my accountability partner now. And so like, he's definitely, setting up plans for me and stuff like that. And so I'm excited to just like dig into my physical and health goal again of just working out at least 4 to 6 times a week. And then another one of my health goals, which is not really a smart goal, but it is something I probably can make smart. I just need to dig a little bit more. It's to really just decrease my sugar intake. I just be eating sugar, y'all. And honestly, this probably goes right back into me being disciplined. And it probably is a spiritual goal too, because I do not deny my flesh enough. Like, I just be eating sugar, ice cream, cookies, cake, chips, whatever, y'all. I'm eating sugar. And so I just really want to decrease my sugar intake. I want to get back into that mindset of like, you don't need this thing. You don't need this candy. You don't need da 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 da. And to just eat healthier. I already eat pretty healthy, but that's the one thing sugar will get me. Okay. And it's been getting my gut. Okay. Because my abs have left the building. And so I really want to decrease my sugar intake, and I need to, again, just make that smart, like put some numbers and measurements and stuff on that too. But those are my like health and fitness and physical goals. Okay. The next area I really want to focus on is my finances. When is it not? When are finances not any of our focuses, you know, but I really want to get better with my finances. I say it every year, and I honestly have gotten better over time, but I'm still just not there yet. And so the big, huge goal that I have for my finances, and it scares me to say it every time I say it, especially when I say it on here, because more of you are watching me now. But my big financial goal is to save for a down payment for a house. I want to buy a house. I don't know if it's going to happen this year, but I set a goal for it to happen this year. I don't know if it's going to happen this year, but I want to save for a down payment. Yes, I have all the numbers and stuff here. So I have made this one smart, and I want to do that by August, because that's the month where I really set up for myself. Like, this is when you want to do it by. I don't know. God's timeline might be different than mine. He might be like, girl, just save for it and we're going to do it next year. I don't know, but I want to make sure that I'm at least setting myself up to save for it. So, all of these goals are going to require systems. And so this one definitely is going to require a system of like budgeting, you know, and checking in with my finances, and, you know, setting how much I'm going to save, setting how much I'm going to pay down debt or whatever I need to do. Like, all those things have to be a part of, this system of actually accomplishing this goal. So I'm also doing that with all of them. I've got systems set for all of them, and maybe I'll share that later, like in future updates, maybe like monthly updates or something. But I absolutely want to save. I really want to buy a home. I really want to have my own space, my own home, and all the things. But I mean, I love staying here at my parents' house, but I really do want to have my own again. And so that is my huge goal financially. And I think that would just help me to get better overall financially, because it's going to help. Like, I have to set a system that requires so many different pieces in order for me to actually accomplish that goal. So y'all pray for your girl, because I really want to do it. And I really am believing that it will happen, but it's still freaking me out. Okay. So yeah, that's my goal in the financial area of my life. And then this last one is not necessarily it's a goal, but I haven't really, like, I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm using that patience that I talked about earlier. And this one is in the professional area of my life. I really feel like I am supposed to be like, I'm supposed to own something. Like, I'm supposed to own some type of business. I'm supposed to be doing something with this name TILAGO, you know? And so years ago, I started a stationery company called TILAGO Stationery Co. But I haven't done anything with that for like years. And I'm not 100% sure that I'm like supposed to pick that back up and like relaunch it or anything like that. But I do know that, again, the name like TILAGO, like I'm supposed to be doing something with it. And so I don't know if it's like some type of coaching. I don't know if it's, again, another physical product, another, you know, physical business where I like sell journals and stuff like that. Or if it's, I really don't know, but I want to get really clear on that, and I want to start it this year. And so that's like the goal. It's kind of lofty right now, but I really feel like it's something I'm supposed to be digging into. So we're going to see what that's supposed to be. We're going to see what that's supposed to look like, but it is how I'm trying to focus and get better in the professional area of my life. Of course, I want to like continue to thrive and excel and move up at my company that I work for now. But, you know, there's also a part of me that's like, how long are you supposed to be here? I don't know. But I just want to make sure that I am focused on and not forgetting about like, hey, God has given you this thing to birth within, with the name TILAGO. So this would be separate from HGH completely, and which HGH I'm still supposed to keep going. So I'm continuing to get vision on that too, and what that's supposed to look like. But I know with the name, TILAGO, I just think I'm supposed to be doing something with it. So I'm just trying to get clear on that. That's kind of the vision, or not even vision, the goal that I'm still kind of working on as, you know, this first month of the year kind of comes in. I'm talking about comes to a close. Girl, we just got here. I'm still trying to figure that out within the first month of 2025. All right, y'all, that is really all. I don't know if y'all want to hear any more about like how I'm tracking things, how I keep up with things. I use Notion like everybody and their mama. Okay. But I love me some Notion. I wouldn't necessarily show y'all my Notion template right now though, because it's really not set up. I've been watching other YouTubers and creators and their Notion templates and stuff because I'm trying to figure out which one I'm going to download this year, which one I feel like I want to use. I have one already, but I don't know. It's just not singing to me right now. So I don't know which one I'm going to get. But when I do, if y'all want to see my Notion template, when I get it set up, let me know. Also, I'm using a planner from Still Classics. Let me show y'all the planner because I do want to do that because it's a really beautiful planner. So 1 second. So here is my 2025 planner. Again, it's from Still Classics, STIL. I think it's Classics. I'll link it and I'll put it up on the screen. But this is the planner. This is my first time getting like a binder planner, which is really cool. Normally I have like just a bound one, but this one's a binder so I can, remove the pages, write on them, all that kind of stuff. And so this is she. And so she opens with a button here. And then let me try to show you the inside with one hand also. Very, very clean and simple. Okay, this is chaotic. 1 second. This one I think is the weekly outline, I think is what I got. And so it starts off with a spot where I can put my vision board right here. Let me clip this to me. And I hope the sound doesn't go crazy, but I just want to show y'all this and I can't do it with one hand. Okay. All right. So here is the vision board. And then she's also got a page for right after that. She's got like your bills and subscriptions you can put here. I'll be, tracking my budget and stuff in like a digital form. So I probably won't use this that much, but it's here. And then she's got a spot where you can put your rituals and routines. So you can put like how you're going to be productive. You can put your sleep routine. You can put like when you're going to bed, when you're waking up. You can put your morning rituals, even evening rituals. I call them routines. Rituals feels a little too, okay. She's got quotes on the front of every month right there. And then every month has like you can write down the goal that you're focused on that month. Honestly, I'll probably use only half of this page. It has a habit tracker here because I'm going to be trying to focus on more than one kind of goal at a time. But anyway, there's spots for notes at the very beginning of each month. And then you have the whole spread of the month for the month. And then what else? I'll show y'all one I haven't written on. And then for each week, you've got like a whole page. You've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday over here. The rest of the week over here. And then on the next page is where you can kind of plan like daily. So she's gotten each day like kind of broken down like this. So I am really excited to use this. Like I said, it's my first time using this type of planner. It's my first time getting one from Still Classics. And so I'm just really excited to see what it's going to be like. This video is super long. I say that in every video, and I'm really grateful that y'all stay here because I just be talking. But I'm really glad you're here. I hope you got something out of today's video. I hope you are encouraged or inspired or motivated to set more goals for yourself, or I won't even say more, but set more intentional goals for yourself and to really reset your year in a way that is pleasing and honoring unto God and will really set you inside of his will. And so thanks so much for watching. Comment down below if anything stuck out to you or in any way. Like the video if you enjoyed it. And of course, keep on coming back. I can't wait to see y'all in the next video. Bye.